who is the biggest loser in Rodgers' return?
The Denver Broncos. I think that the Denver Broncos were a team that was constantly attached to a potential trade partner, one, because they've got the assets, and two, because they've got a tie general manager-wise to Minnesota when they were in the division with Green Bay. The Broncos are a fringe playoff team right now with Teddy Bridgewater. I think their offensive line is really good. They've got a tremendous amount of skill position on the outside. Their defense would be a top 10, top 12 defense. So it's a really, really, really good football team. If they had Aaron Rodgers, this would be a Super Bowl contending football team. I will say that again. If the Broncos, if Aaron decided, I'm going to get out now, and the Packers were going to trade him, the Broncos would have done everything in their power to try and go get him. And then you're looking at a division where the Chiefs go, uh-oh, the Broncos, who are really good, they just got the MVP of the NFL. In their division, they just got the MVP of the NFL. And then we throw another team into the mix of legit bona fide Super Bowl contenders because they have a window to do so right now. And I think now the Broncos sit there and go, do we wait? Like, do we wait for the potential of next year? Is our guy going to be Teddy Bridgewater? Is it going to be Drew Lock? Or do we see next year, after the review period with the Packers and Aaron having somewhat of a say since we're in the AFC, can we try and trade for him next year? But I say the biggest loser with him going back and not being able to get out this year are the Broncos.
You can be funny and say the biggest loser is the media covering the NFL because what are we going to talk about now that Aaron Rodgers is back with the Green Bay Packers? But, Dan, I don't know if there's really a biggest loser in this return, and here's why I say this. Because you're the Green Bay Packers, you get that guy back for one more year, at least one last year, a guy who's the MVP last year, and you're not that far away from being a Super Bowl team. Now, if you want to say the biggest loser is the whole NFC North, because I'm sure they were thinking, hey, without Aaron Rodgers, we all had a chance, especially the Minnesota Vikings, for example. You're thinking, well, we can maybe rise up. Dalvin Cook running the football, Kirk Cousins not turning over the football. You know the defense, hopefully, it's not going to play as bad as they played last year. Mike Zimmer in his final year of his contract, potentially, with the Minnesota Vikings. But when I look at a biggest loser in this situation, I'm not going to say that Aaron Rodgers is a loser. He's making over $14 million a year. I'm not going to say the Green Bay Packers are our biggest loser because they get that MVP back. If anything, that division and the media not having anything to talk about at least for another couple of weeks, those may be the biggest losers when it comes to Aaron Rodgers returning for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, for me, it's got to be the Chicago Bears. So the Chicago Bears, which are the rival to the Green Bay Packers, are 3-17 in their last 20 games against Green Bay. So think about this whole time where we don't know if Aaron Rodgers is coming back, and the media and the fans and his teammates. But there were some teams in the NFC North saying, man, I kind of hope he doesn't come back. It'd be a little bit easier for us to get where we want to go. We talk about Justin Fields and what he can do. We also talk about Andy Dalton. Maybe Justin Fields sits, maybe he doesn't. But without that big roadblock standing in your way, it's a lot easier for you to go and try and win a division. And so, yes, you could say the entire NFC North. Yes, you could say the Denver Broncos. But if there is one team that hurts the most from Aaron Rodgers coming back, it's hands down the Chicago Bears. He is the roadblock to them making the playoffs, roadblock really to them winning the division.
The only reason I'd push back on you, or the single most important is because neither the Bears nor the Vikings, and Acha, I'll go to the Bears, they're not Super Bowl contenders, right? Like, I think it's fair to say their chances of winning the division would have been better, and I still think they're going to be a good football team if they start Justin Fields week 1. But we're talking about a chance to win the Super Bowl, and that's what the Broncos give. Like, the Broncos could have been last year's Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're all of a sudden, you're like, man, it's a good football team. They're just missing really good quarterback play. And all of a sudden, Aaron Rodgers comes over, and it's like, wait, now we got a real chance to win the Super Bowl. And you don't have that every season because eventually they're going to have to pay Chubb. And so, like, I just look at it and going, for the ultimate prize, the ultimate goal to go win the Super Bowl, not win the division, again, for Minnesota and Chicago, but go be real, legit, bona fide Super Bowl contenders. The Broncos are that if they had swung a trade for Aaron Rodgers. And I agree, it's going to be harder for them to win the division, both Minnesota, potentially Detroit, or Chicago. But that's all they're getting. Like, that's all I feel those teams can do is potentially win the division and get into the playoffs. I don't think they're make noise in the playoffs football teams, where I absolutely believe that because how good the football team is and the position players in Denver are, with the addition of Rodgers, we're putting them in that group of 6 or 7 teams where we go, they got a shot to win the Super Bowl. That's why I say that they're the biggest loser as of today.
I didn't think about that from the standpoint of the Denver Broncos, I guess because we're living in a Patrick Mahomes world in Kansas City. And He's still the biggest, baddest boy in the AFC jungle. And you look at the loaded AFC where, let's say if Aaron Rodgers had gone to the Denver Broncos, let's say they would swing that trade. Think of how the AFC would have looked. It would have been like the Western Conference in the NBA, where you got Denver, Kansas City, Buffalo, Miami, New England, Baltimore, Cleveland, Tennessee, Indianapolis. If you make it to the playoffs, you may say, whew, man, we need a first-round bye. We might need 2 first-round byes because it would have been a loaded AFC. Can you imagine if that had happened? The kind of effect that Aaron Rodgers going to the Denver Broncos may have been even more than Peyton Manning going to the Denver Broncos, because at the end of Peyton Manning's career, they carried him across the finish line. That would not have been the case, in my opinion, with Aaron Rodgers, because I still think he's going to be an elite quarterback when he's 40, 41 years of age, being that athletic and still making all those throws. Just thinking about that and the way the AFC and how that could have affected the NFC. Because now you're Tampa Bay, to me, the biggest challenger to them would have been the Green Bay Packers. I don't trust anybody else challenging them. Not saying that path would have been easy, but it would have been a lot easier if Aaron Rodgers had been able to have that trade made. He goes to Denver. You're Tampa Bay, you're thinking, man, the only team we really got to worry about, maybe the Rams. You hope that Matthew Stafford can do something with them. Other than that, the AFC, man, that is a gauntlet of murderer's row if Aaron Rodgers had been able to go to the Denver Broncos and not stay with the Green Bay Packers.
See, I just never thought that trade was a real possibility, right? So you talk about biggest losers, Denver. It's like, but what is Denver going to give to Green Bay to make that trade worthwhile? Green Bay has a Super Bowl-ready team. And so if you're giving away your quarterback, you need something in return, particularly a quarterback. And so people were floating that out, and Denver showed interest, I'm sure. But I never saw that being a real possibility because even if you talk about defensive players, right, Bradley Chubb, Von Miller, Green Bay already has some dogs on the outside linebacker, and so they didn't really need what Denver had to offer. And so for that reason, I wouldn't say that Denver is the biggest loser, because I don't think it was ever a realistic trade possibility that Green Bay was ever going to let go of Aaron Rodgers.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.